Да, здравейте, здравейте и тук, и в тази стая. С някой от вас, може би преди малко се видяхме и на презентацията на Tilburg University. Аз в началото, това, което искам да кажа, докато дадем възможност на всички, които се интересуват от Radboud, да прескочат от едната стая в другата, просто да ви информирам, че тези презентации всичките се записват и след това ще бъдат качени в YouTube канала ни. Съответно, всички ще получите достъп до съответната презентация. Освен това, ние след като приключи събитието, ще изпратиме имейл персонализиран до всеки един от вас, съобразно университета, от който се интересувате, и програмата, която ви интересува, с малко повече информация за това какви са крайните срокове, какви са необходимите документи за кандидатстване. Тоест, на по-голямата част от въпросите, които тук задавате, ще ви бъде отговорено след това в имейл, който се изпраща до всеки един от участниците в изложението. А и на някакъв етап нашите колеги от Radboud може би ще пътуват до България, след като паднат ограниченията. И се надявам, че когато идват до България, ще има възможност да се видят с вас. Ние естествено ще ви държиме информирани за всички тези възможности, така че на малко по-късен етап през годината, може би ще имате възможност и за one-on-one митинг с представителите на Radboud University. Сега към Стефани, която видяхте в началото, се присъединява и Антония Петрова, която ще ни даде малко инсайт информация, тъй като е студентка бивша в университета. Well, ladies, I think you can start now and be aware that the people will jump in during the presentation.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody. I guess we'll start with a quick introduction of ourselves, and then Antonia will start the presentation. My name is Stephanie. I'm a marketing and recruitment officer at Radboud University. I've been doing this for about 3 years at Radboud, and I was also an international student some 7 years ago at Radboud University, so I'm also alumni. I originally come from Haiti, so it's in the Caribbean. So I was new to the Netherlands. If you have questions about the culture and things like that, I can also answer that. That's about it. And Antonia, you can introduce yourself.
Thanks, Steph. Thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Antonia. I'm a formal student of Radboud. I did my master degree, also a pre-master year before my master degree in Nijmegen. It was around 5 years ago. Yeah, quite a time already. It was amazing. And if you have any questions in the chat, you can also ask us. We're open to give you any answers we can cover. So we have a couple of slides prepared. Yeah, the city of Nijmegen. It's a very small and very cute, lovely city. If you go to the next slide, I can show you on the map. In the Netherlands, it's very close to the German border in the eastern part of the country. And it's quite a location, just because it's on such a crossroad, especially for international students. It's very comfortable to be there because you have several airports that are nearby, not only Amsterdam and Rotterdam, but you can also choose Düsseldorf and Cologne as nearby stations just to take a plane and go somewhere. We can go on the next slide. Why Nijmegen? It's in one explanation, I can say this is a very small and very student-friendly city because it's very full of students, internationals, definitely the largest parts, and it's very green, not only the campus, but also the surroundings. Everywhere you go, you have the cycling lanes. The infrastructure is amazing. You can always cycle everywhere you want to go. It's very green and of course, clean air, good places to go, coffees, bars, etc. It's very cultural, very rich cultural. Although it's a student city, you can always feel the Dutch culture over there. If you can go to the next slide. Thanks. Like I said, not only with bikes, but you can go around also with the trains. You can reach any point, anywhere you want to go, even go to the airport, the nearest airport, and just go to the next country. So Radboud University. Radboud University it has quite an amazing campus. Not only the campus, even the separate faculties. The latest faculty in my memory, it was the law faculty. There are amazing facilities inside, and the facility itself is very innovative, high-end, and very green. On top of everything, very green. I must say, for the science department, although I'm coming from the Nijmegen School of Management, NSM, with finance, I must say that the science department has extraordinary labs. It has high-end equipment. I think Stephanie will mention this under the research slide a little bit more in detail. But definitely the newest buildings, the newest equipment, really modern stuff. If we can go to the next slide. I mentioned this already with the green campus. Not only the campus, the whole city is really green. The Netherlands as a country is really green. You can cycle everywhere. Even if the lectures are in separate buildings, with your bike, it's very, very comfortable and reachable within minutes. It's very pleasant also to be always on the bike. The international community is quite rich. There's so many countries that the students cover. Here it says more than 100 nationals, maybe. I can't count, there's so many. And the community is very rich. Not only ambassadors, like alumni of the university that cover different countries, but even mentors during the orientation week. They're building even international groups during the orientation week. It's very, very friendly and international. If you can go on the next one. The personal approach here, definitely I must say, during my master's, our groups are smaller than the bachelor groups. I believe we were not more than 20 people in my specialization in financial economics. And the approach is really personal. For any questions, you will not be forgotten, or the teacher won't see or will not have time to give you the right answer. It's always a whole feedback. It's always a two-way street. Not only, even if you are in a big lecture hall with, let's say, in a big bachelor for a program that it's coming from the bachelors, and you have 100 people in the hall, there are extremely nice methods. I was really excited, and I was really happy to see such innovative methods that the professors are using just to keep the students always engaged in the classroom, even if there are more than 50, and it works. It really works. That's something I can say from a personal experience. If you can go on the next one, Steph, thanks. And I think I can give you the scene over here.
Yes, I will take it over from here. Yeah, so aside from teaching, we are a research university, so we do a lot of research at the university. As mentioned, we have a lot of research institutes on campus. for all different types of disciplines, from neuroscience, science, biology, botany, if you're into that, cognition and speech, whatever. There's very world-renowned institutes on campus. And on top of that, we do encourage interdisciplinary research at Radboud University. So you never really just stay in your one discipline. We do stimulate that you work across disciplines and across faculties. All our teachers are researchers, so they teach and research at the same time. And we do integrate research into our teaching. So if that's something that you're interested in, you have the possibility in your studies to go further into research. And if you would like to continue to a master's or PhD, that's also possible. And some examples of the facilities that we have on campus, we have, for instance, the Donders Institute for Brain Cognition and Behavior, which is the one, the picture that's on the screen now. We have a high field magnet laboratory. We have the Max Planck Institute for Psycholinguistics, which is a very world-renowned institute right on our campus. And as for the rankings, we are best traditional university most times since 2012. We've received this award 8 times. So I think we are the one with the most in the Netherlands. This is a national ranking, so all the research universities in the Netherlands. We also are 101st in the Shanghai rankings. 24th in the teaching rankings in Europe, according to Times Higher Education, and 136th in the World University rankings, and 214th in the QS rankings. Overall, Radboud is in the top 1% in the world of universities. So here are some facts and figures about our universities. We have 7 faculties. We have about 100 nationalities on campus, as mentioned. We have 76% of our students that obtain a bachelor's degree in 4 years. So the minimum is 3, and you can take more time than 3. Generally, a bachelor's program is a minimum of 3 years. And 1 in 5 are our students that are starting now are international, and in total of our student body, 1 in 9 students are international, and 94% of our students find a paying job in their field after about 1.5 years that they've received their master's diploma. Some facilities that we have on campus, we have the Radboud Sports Center. The Sports Center is actually was voted #1 university sports center in the world. That was in 2018, and I think it's #1 in Europe. We offer more than 80 sports. It's one of the favorites of our students. It always comes back as one of the top things that they love about the university is how much diversity. You can do absolutely any sport that you can think of here. It's very cheap, just €100 a year. And of course, what you're interested in is what programs that we offer. We have 14 English bachelor's programs. These are the 14 programs that we offer across these 7 faculties. So anything from artificial intelligence, computing science, business administration, history, international business communication, philosophy, psychology, it's all there. If you want to see in detail the programs, you can go to our website, ru.nl/bachelors. And then you can look at the admission requirements per program, but also learn more about the program and the courses that are offered as well. For the admission requirements in general, every program will maybe have some differences in their admission requirements, but in general, we do require the, well, I'm going to be honest, I cannot pronounce this, but the academic stream of the high school diploma. However, the admissions is assessed individually, so it is case by case. So once you do your admissions, you submit all of your documents, but in general, we would need the academic stream for your high school diploma and a proof of your English language proficiency. We accept IELTS, TOEFL, and the Cambridge test, and then every program would have specific requirements depending on what you're applying, whether it be for a science program, you would have math requirements, and whatnot. So you can check that on the website specifically for that program, what you need. We do, however, have 3 programs that are selection and placement programs. I think this was covered in the general presentation, what we called numerus fixus programs. These are our 3 English programs that are numerus fixus, which means we have a set number of places for these 3 programs, and that's artificial intelligence, biology, and psychology. How this works is that depending on the program, there's different numbers. For instance, psychology has 600 spots, and you have to apply and then go through a selection procedure. I thought there was more about the selection procedure, but anyways, the selection procedure is quite simple. You apply by 15th of January, that's the deadline. And then you have an assignment or a test that you need to do. And on 15th of April, after you've submitted this test on 15th of April, you receive a ranking. And if you are within the number of places that there are available for the program, you get admitted, otherwise you get waitlisted. And then about our teaching, for every 2 hours of lectures on our campus, you will get about 4 hours of working group per course. We have very interactive teaching, as we've mentioned. It's a very personal approach to teaching. We do invite students to give their feedback quite often, and we like to hear input back from students. We have a lot of study advisors that are available for students who need help. And we also allow resits in the same academic year. So that's something for me, for instance, when I came from the other side of the world that I was not familiar with. If you do not pass your exam on the first try, you get a second try, what we call a resit. You don't have to take the course all over again. So if you already know what you want to study and you want to apply, you can do this via StudyLink. This is the national application system. And once you've submitted your StudyLink application, you get information from us to upload your documents in Osiris, which is our application system. And it will list all the documents that you need to submit. For instance, your transcripts of grades, but also things like your identity or a motivation letter or a CV or whatnot. So these are the deadlines for application. 15th of January for our selective bachelor's programs. 1st of May is our application deadline if you wish to use our pre-arrival services, which includes housing accommodation. And the 1st of July, it says June here, but it should be July if you, it's our final application deadline for EU students. Now, finances, I think this was also covered in the first presentation, so I'll go over quickly. Very simply, our tuition fee is €2,209 a year. It is halved for the first year. So the first year you pay half of this amount. This is a legal tuition fee set by the Dutch government. You have different expenses aside from your tuition fees, such as accommodation, living expenses, books and materials, health insurance, liability insurance, which is very important to have health insurance. So if you want, we have a detailed cost of all of this, and you can see the yearly costs for all those detailed expenses on our website. There's also possibilities to apply for loans via the Dutch government. This, you have to fulfill quite a lot of conditions, so I cannot state them here because it's very specific, but you can also check that out on our website to see how you can apply for a loan. Now, Radboud, we like to help our students as much as we can. We have a lot of services for students. So before arriving to university, for instance, you get housing assistance, as I mentioned, but we also usually do a Schiphol airport. Oh, sorry, Antonia, I think you will take it over from here. But we also have a Schiphol airport welcome. I didn't make use of this, maybe you did.
I didn't do it either, although I know several people. I mean, a lot of people take advantage of it. I mean, coming for the first time in the Netherlands or even in Europe, it's really a good thing that Radboud organized this. But this with the housing assistance, it definitely works. They even read my comments of what kind of a room I want, and they gave it to me, which was splendid. So definitely, I definitely recommend to do the housing over there in the dorms. Yeah, definitely you have the people around you that you need most during the studies. If it be just a mentor from your study group or even a study group, it's very recommended to have one. There are a lot of team assignments, so at the end of the day, you'll definitely have a couple of people from your program that always are working with you in the library. But you have also your study advisor. That's a person part of the faculty. And if you have any questions regarding your program, regarding your studies, anything connected to it, you can always turn to these people, and you will always get assistance or the right answer. The student life. There is nothing missing from the city. I believe that here the big question is if the student is ready enough to manage their time. There is definitely time for studying, and there is time for parties. There is absolutely no lack of opportunities or parties, definitely in the dorms, for example. There will always be somewhere a gathering or a meeting or something social happening. So there is absolutely no lack of student life. Maybe now, Steph, you can give us some insights during the pandemic. Maybe the situation is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's true that Nijmegen is in general a very lively city, and it's been a bit of a shame with COVID that the student life has died down quite a bit. But we do, at least from our from Radboud, we do have a lot of online things that we've organized to try to make up for that, but also that the students who live in dorms, they've come together a lot more. And, you know, because that's allowed, you can have parties with your roommates inside of your house, the people that you live with. So they've gotten very close, and you just have smaller circles these days.
Working as a student at Radboud, not in Nijmegen or as a whole, it really depends on what people study and what expectations they have or what programs they're following. Especially for master students, it's not recommended to work during the studies because the study load is quite high, and the programs are pretty intensive. However, I've heard, Steph, that this is also applicable for first-year students.
For the bachelor's, yes. Yeah. We've come, yeah.
Definitely, it's not recommended. Of course, it's possible. There are options. Of course, knowing Dutch, the local language, will be definitely a plus. However, like I said, it's better for the person, for the student to get used to the environment, to the campus, to the studies, and the speed of the studies. I know in Bulgaria, we study in a little bit different speeds than the education in the Netherlands. It's definitely recommended for the student first to get used to everything and then look for maybe a job. The orientation week is definitely a must, at least from my side. It was very useful. You get to know your people around you, even people that are going to be living with you in the dorms, basically everybody. Like I said, it's very international. They organize different groups for during the orientation week, and this is a week, I think, before the starts of the studies, right, Steph?
Yes, correct.
So yeah, it's very recommended. It's quite a fun. It's really amazing. Definitely recommended for everybody. And you get to know the city. You get to see different places, and of course meet the people that are going to be there studying with you.
Yes, and also now we also offer free social Dutch courses. Of course, Dutch is not required. The programs are in English, but should you want to learn some Dutch to just get around and be able to order a drink or find your way around a supermarket, these are free for international students. For when I was a student, that was not the case, but now you can sign up for free social Dutch. It does help with integration. It does help with getting to know your Dutch classmates as well. We have a lot of study associations as well if you want to get involved outside of your studies. For all sorts of subjects, whatever you can think of, we have something. Whether you want to get involved with your study, there's also study organizations for that. And in summary, just quickly, for 5 reasons that we think that you should come study at Radboud University, because, you know, we are voted best traditional university so many times. We have a wide range of study options for you. You will have a world recognized diploma, and we have a very personal approach to teaching and excellent services and facilities. So if you take away anything from this presentation, I hope it's these 5 facts. And if you are interested in knowing more about our university, we do offer quite a lot of different events throughout the year, such as a virtual open day. The virtual open day will take place in April. We have a physical open day in March, should you want to come and visit the Netherlands and our campus. We have regular webinars as well as virtual fairs, such as this one that we attend. And if you know which study that you would like to do, you can also sign up for experience days and student 4 days. And some of these are online with COVID, so you can do them online, and it just gives you an idea. We match you up, for instance, student for a day with a student, and you can go through their day with them and see what it's like to be a student for that specific study. We do recommend that you have a better idea of what you want to study before you do that, however. And if you want to stay in contact with us, you can always sign up for our newsletter. We will send you our latest updates. You can scan this QR code. Or you can follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or even our TikTok account. Our YouTube account is also very interesting. It's interesting if you want to see vlogs. We have student day in the life of a student. We have a lot of international student vlogs, and you can discover Nijmegen through the eyes of our international students. All right, thank you very much, guys. That was our presentation. I saw that quite a lot of comments and questions.
Yes, I'm also trying to give some answers here in the gaps. I don't know if we should go scroll up from the beginning.
Maybe we'll start at the top. Somebody mentioned about IT faculty. We don't have a faculty for IT. That would be the science faculty if you're interested in a program such as computing science. We did talk about our facilities. We have some very great facilities. Can you give examples of innovative methods of teaching?
Yeah, I answered that one.
Okay. We do have a genetics and molecular biology program. We do have a molecular life sciences program at our science faculty.
By the way,
yeah.
Antonia, hi, first hi, nice to meet you again, to see you. But just to tell you that your answers arrive to hosts and panelists, and actually the participants cannot see them. So for example, the first one, the first answer, I can copy and paste it to everyone?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oops, I'm trying to, sorry.
I will post a link here of all our programs, and then you can also browse them in the chat. Because somebody's asking about the AI program, what does it cover? We do have on each program page, we do go into detail on the courses. So if you go to the curriculum and courses page, you can see what the curriculum is for the current year. So you have an idea of exactly which courses are given. So you can browse that.
Can you change your program from AI to computing science after several courses?
I don't believe that's possible. It is always, you can always try, because if you were admitted to AI, that's a different faculty than the computing science program. So I don't think it would be so interchangeable. Maybe, I don't know if after just a few courses, maybe after your first year, it's possible to transfer. However, I'm not sure, because the first year in the Netherlands, you have to get your binding study advice, as it's called. So you have to have your minimum amount of credits that you receive in order to proceed to the second year. So I don't know if changing in the middle of the year is such a wise thing to do.
What does the test for psychology numerous fixes program cover? Is it related to psychology or biology, chemistry? Do you know that?
I can't say exactly, but I'm going to look it up right now, and I'll put the link in the chat, because every year it changes exactly what the test is. It's usually an assignment that they will send to you at home to do. 1 second. Here we go, the criteria and process for whoever asked about the
I see a question. Are you given the materials from which you can study for the assignment for the numerous fixes program?
Yes.
Which program is this?
Yes, for the numerous fixes program, you will be given, say, if you have a text that you need to read, you will be given the materials for that. The newest building is fantastic, Maria Montessori. It's really great. It's actually one energy neutral building, which is really beautiful. Favorite place on campus so far for me. Which is the home of the new social science faculty, the new home of the social science faculty.
Eva is asking, is there a course about journalism, publicism?
No, we don't offer journalism, unfortunately, no.
Are classes online most of the time, is Nadezhda asking? No, during pandemic?
No, we did have quite a lot of online classes in the last year. I think the beginning of the semester in 2020, September was mostly online, and we've slowly been going back to physical classes. We had a lockdown in the Netherlands in December, so a lot of students went back to online. But for instance, things that could not be done online, large lectures were done online, but some things, for instance, like work groups, labs, all those kinds of small teaching groups, they were still done on campus, and all exams as well were still done on campus.
Yeah.
And we're just going back to physical teaching as soon as the most that we can do, we're going back to it. So sometimes you'll have like a 70-30, so 30% online, 70% on campus. It varies per faculty.
Do you think Dutch is an easy language to learn, especially if you know a language like German?
If you know German, I heard it's very easy.
Yes, I am on the same opinion. I speak German. It's really even if you speak even English, so it's definitely a combination.
I found it quite difficult to learn. I speak Dutch now, but it took quite a few years to learn. Yeah. I took courses with German students, and they would go so much faster than me. And after a few months, they leave my course because for them, they just understood it so much quicker. So if you speak German, definitely an easy language to learn. We have some intensive courses for German speakers, and in about 3 months, they are fluent in Dutch. More questions?
There is a question here that is similar to another one. So basically, the educational system in the high school here in Bulgaria doesn't give you these sciences like biology or chemistry, physics in the last 2 years of our high school. So the people are asking if that would be a problem or how this can be covered. And I think there are additional exams that are accepted by Radboud University when applying, that basically are used as a proof that the person knows the particular science, right, guys?
Yes, there's the Boswell, for example, for physics and mathematics and chemistry. Yeah. But the question is, if an applicant misses in the final 2 years of the curriculum, for example, physics, chemistry, and biology, if they don't study it at all till the 12th grade, can they apply and hope to be offered such an external exam?
No, there won't be. There won't be an exam from Radboud University to test that if you have not gotten the qualifications. We don't have entrance exams unless you're coming for one of the numerous fixes programs. I will put here a link. It's called our eligibility check. I think it's very useful if you want to check whether your education would give you access to the specific program that you want. We have this for all our bachelor's programs. So you just have to answer a few questions and then you would get a reply, I think via email with your results, whether your previous education is eligible for admissions to that program. It's not a guarantee of admission because that's done case by case, but it gives you an idea. There's quite a lot of questions. Master's program of business administration. Yes, we do have that. We have a master's in business administration as well as a bachelor's in business administration. Are we in a lockdown right now? No, not anymore. Thankfully, we're out of lockdown. We have some restrictions, but not many anymore. Is there a possibility to study abroad for a semester? Yes, definitely. For the biology program, I don't know specifically, but there's possibility to study abroad.
Yeah, it depends on the program, basically. Yes. But yeah. For the computer science program, are there any additional math exams required? There is a question.
I will check that for you right now.
That would depend on how many math hours you had in school. So if you had, I think, more than 4 per week, or how many were there? If you're coming, let's say, from a math school, don't worry, it will be enough.
And yeah, it does say that you might have to have some additional conditions, such as taking a mathematics test, but this will be determined by the admissions officer and the faculty. Yeah.
I had the same issue. I'm not coming from that kind of a high school. So basically, when I was helping with the promotion days and stuff, I realized that most of our high schools in Bulgaria, they offer only 2 hours of math during the week, and at least 4 are needed, or 5 maybe, to qualify for Radboud's requirements.
Ladies, excuse me, just before you continue, I would like to mention that the next presentation is starting in 2 minutes, the Twente University presentation, just for the students that are interested in more technical subjects. They're welcome to join the next presentation, but you can stay for another 5 minutes probably, and then I would really appreciate if you give them the chance to join the other presentation. That's what we are going to do. We will send an email after that to all the participants, and that's what I said at the beginning. I know that some of you will probably come on a later stage here in Bulgaria, and we will definitely make sure that everybody gets the question answered from our side, probably on a later stage, if not here. Okay, I will leave you now. Thank you very much for your great job today.
Thank you. I'll stay for a few more minutes for any burning questions that anyone has. I just wanted to mention, somebody asked about scholarships. We do not have any scholarships for bachelor's, only for master's programs, which is why we mentioned the loan possibilities from the Dutch government. I don't think many, some universities do offer bachelor's programs in the Netherlands, but very few.
Recently, I don't know of any any opportunity of this kind.
Oh, there you go. We don't have any bachelor's scholarships. Jobs that you could do without knowing Dutch. We had this question in the general presentation as well. I did mention there are some jobs in Nijmegen for students who don't know Dutch. Of course, if you live in Amsterdam, this is easier because it's a very tourist-minded city. So, but if you live in Nijmegen, campus jobs, for instance, Radboud has employment office where you can find a job as a teaching assistant, a student assistant, or any sort of jobs on campus. You can also work as in delivery. A lot of international students do that because you don't require any Dutch for that if you're going to go, and you can choose your own hours, like food delivery around the city. But you have a lot of possibilities depending on how tenacious you are, I guess, in applying. Chemistry program. I personally don't know a lot about the chemistry program, but I will put a link to it here.
Maybe it depends what the questions are from Karina. Yeah. Is it about the program itself or the application or the opportunities?
A few people asked about entrance exams. We don't do entrance exams for general admissions to Radboud University, only if you're applying for a numerus fixus program, which is artificial intelligence, biology, or psychology. Then you have to go through an assignment or a test and a selection and placement process.
The one that Isidora is asking, actually I sent the link, and there are 3 programs that might interest her. With languages, the ones that are, let me see, English language and culture, American studies, and also the business communication,
yes,
for example. Mm-hmm.
Other language courses on offer for free not, but we do have a language institute on campus where you can learn and really not any language, but a lot of languages. It's called Radboud Into Languages, but unfortunately they're not free. You do get a discount as a student if you want to follow a language course.
And with regards to the question from Nikki Bonev, I suppose he's addressing when somebody receives a conditional offer. Usually in the offer, it is mentioned final exam in mathematics, which we have checked with the admissions office. And if it is not said matura or a state exam, it would mean that you have to study mathematics till the end of the 12th grade. And mathematics grade should be maybe specified in the offer, but you see it in the diploma. This is like a GPA of the mathematics. So I'm trying to answer the question from Nikki Bonev, but in case you have an offer and it's not clear, you could always ask the admissions team to precise what they mean by final exam. But usually it doesn't mean matura. This is what I'm trying to say from experience.
Do we have any other questions that we didn't answer? Thank you. You're very welcome, and we're happy that you came, Daniela. Oh, somebody says to the host, sorry, I thought it was a student. All right, I think we can end it. I don't want to keep anybody who wants to go see the next presentation for, I believe it was Twente. Yeah.
So no more questions. I don't know if we've missed a question maybe, but.
If you have any other questions, please feel free to send us an email. I will put the email here in the chat. And we can answer, and we can answer a lot more specific questions regarding admissions as well.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you. Thank you, girls. Stephanie, Antonia, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you. Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.